And while they're leaving the stage, I'm going to invite Triple Fret to come up. 7th grade, you got to just wait just a bit. Triple Fret, come on up. Now, Triple Fret, again, for those of you who don't know, Triple Fret is one of our extracurricular groups that, as you'll see, is made up of ukulele, guitar, bass, and we've added this year a mandolin. Mandolin is one of those instruments that's also kind of making a comeback. A lot of the folk instruments are. If you listen to Prairie Home Companion right now, the new host of that is, or whatever it's now called, the new host is one of those great mandolin player. Basically, if you know how to play violin, you know how to play mandolin. It's a violin with frets. And a couple of the students said, well, but I play viola. There's a mandola. There's even a mandocello. It looks a lot like a guitar. So if you're really into, collecting guitars, you need one of those. So they're doing 2 pieces here. One of them you'll recognize if you're into Bob Marley. The first one you'll recognize perhaps if you're into opera, rather obscure opera, because what else do you think of when you think of ukuleles and guitars but opera? Or not? Ladies and gentlemen, Triple Fret. I also want to make an acknowledgement of one of our students here. You might notice that one of them looks perhaps a little taller than the others. Luke Mayer has been kind enough to, he's actually a freshman in high school and was one of the founding members of Triple Fret, and he's come back to assist as we've gone on this year and fill in when we needed some extra players here and there. So thank you. All right. And I'm going to ask Triple Fret to, leave the stage. I know, you get the spotlight, and then you just want to stay there. All right, and 7th grade, please stand. Okay, and with our 7th grade choruses, they're coming on stage here. I'll tell you a little bit about what they're going to be singing, then get out of the way. The first piece they're going to be singing, as we, I like to freak them out with some language they've never sung in before. And we had not actually done Hebrew before, or at least with this choir. And so this is a piece called Ani Ma Amin. There's a translation in your what you call it, program there. And then followed up with a lullaby by Nick Page that's called Fairest Lady. It has a kind of an interesting story behind it where he takes the melody of London Bridge is Falling Down. Yeah. And then he takes that and literally turns it upside down and backwards, and you get this. I'm going to put Abby on the spot here, but she's played for me a lot. Can you play just that opening melody that they sing in Fairest Lady? Believe it or not, if you take the music and you just flip it upside down and play that, you'll hear bum ba da 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 da. So it's really a clever thing. And later in the song, you'll hear what's the line? Yeah, London Bridge will fly away. Fly. Why is it flying away? It's because it's all been turned upside down. So it's kind of clever. And then finally, we get to explore gospel music there at the end, and you'll hear 6 soloists that will come up and do their thing in that. So. There was one thing I forgot to tell you. One of the things we've been working on this year with 7th grade chorus is you'll notice when our 6th grade chorus is primarily singing in 2 parts. We're singing in 3 parts here. With unfortunately having to reschedule the concert, we had a little more time with this music than we otherwise would have. So I threw them a curveball. And normally they're used to standing in sections, soprano 1, soprano 2, and alto. And so I decided to make their lives a little more interesting. Can I have the first sopranos, please raise your hand? Seconds? Altos? So they're having to be a little more independent and hold their own part, but it really has turned out very well. They sound really good doing it. All right, so this is a gospel tune called He Never Failed Me Yet. Oh, I guess I was in too much of a hurry, sorry. Ferris Lady, it's the upside down thing.
Ferris little lady.
Thank you very much for coming this evening. Hopefully there's not any snow out there waiting for you. Not that that would ever happen in April. Thank you so much for getting your kids involved in music. Thank you especially to everyone for being very flexible when we had to move the concert and understanding about that. As I put in the program, it will require some adjustments to the concert schedule at the end of the year, but I'll let you know about that just as soon as possible. So thank you very much, and have a great evening.